So hello everyone, welcome to the project. Today we are going to build a Hangman game using Python. So Hangman game is a popular classic game which you must have played, and if not then don't worry, we are going to build also and just interestingly play here. So first of all, talking about the Python, it does not require any external library, you can say. It just require a deep logic with some accuracy. So we will be just using a Python. Here I am going to use a VS Code as my compiler and editor. You can use anything for your editor like VS Code, Atom, Google Colabs. So whichever suits you, you can use it. Now coming to the Hangman game and the idea. So Hangman game is a type of game where a person has to guess a word which is represented by a row of dash. For example, you can say here someone is trying to represent a word that is represented by a dashes, and the person is just getting hanged here. So all you can see that when the person is getting hanged means if he just make a wrong price, for example, he just guess a word and that word is not correct, the person will start getting hanged. He will just get to the point of getting hanged, means the body will start appearing, the head will start appearing, the rope will start appearing, and the time will come when the man will fully be hanged, and that time comes when the player has 10 turns, means if the 10 turns are over, the man will lose the game. So it is not compulsory that you can play alone. It can be played by many more players, like multiple players can be there just suggesting the correct word. And if they are unable to suggest the word, the man will get hanged and the game will get over. So this was about the game that we are going to make, and we need to work on both the things. The first part will consist of the logic that we are going to use here, that is building the word, guessing the word, just displaying the word in a correct dashes format, and also storing the data that the user has actually made. And the second format will consist of just displaying the man. So all the figures will be displayed one by one. As soon as the chances are over or the attempts of the player are made false, the game has to just display the image of the hanging man here, just as it is shown here. We will be just making a list of words. You can make your own list. You can download it from internet. You can just give any field to make the list. For example, you can make list of Bollywood, you can make list of Hollywood movies, you can make list of art, science, education, entertainment, whatever you like. You can just make the list of word, and on that particular field you can be used to just suggest the word. For example, we are going to use a random function, random.choice method, and this method will actually suggest a particular word for us. Now you can say that why we are using a random method. See, no one will like if there is a word and that appears again and again, or if the words are actually appearing in a pattern. So we use the random choice so that user just every time he plays, he just get a new feel. Okay, the word is really a new and interesting, and he needs to think a lot. So instead of defining just a single field like entertainment, education, science, you should use a combination of all these fields to make the list of words, because the list of words that we are going to use just will be responsible that how interesting a game is. So if there is a word from science, from earth, from solar system, then user has to think about in each and every field. So this makes the game a bit more difficult and also interesting. So the project is also very interesting. We are going to complete the Hangman game, and after building the Hangman game, you can play it, enjoy it if you have not played, and if you have played, you can just showcase to your friends and play with them. So let's start building the project. In this project, we are going to develop our own and all you need is the Python. You can use any compiler like VS, Jupyter, and Colab, Google Colabs. So it will work for that. Even you can just write the code on Notepad and run with your CMD if you have Python already installed. But these are just simple requirements. Let's talk about how we are going to develop our game. So basically, if you have ever played a Hangman game, it is all about just guessing the words. If your guesses are wrong, there will be a man who will just get nearer and nearer to the death point, and that point is actually he is hanged. So before he is being hanged, there are several pictures of him will be to us, like the hanging rope is coming. The man is just started getting visible, legs start appears, and he is just getting hanged in the rope. After the next, he just hanged. but you can stop that process. You can just save your man, the man in the picture, from getting hanged. And to do that, you need to just guess a word. There are limited number of turns. If your guess is wrong, the man will be hanged, and if you are right, the man will be saved. So the idea is, there is some spaces and we need to fill these spaces. So these spaces are all about just we need to guess the word here. So if there is a any correct word, it will just automatically appear here. If there is another correct word, it will appear here. But if there is no correct word, just next thing that comes is about the image. So an image will appear. If you are not able to just make any word correct, an image will appear, and there will be several images which will just get your man nearer to the hanging point. So a time will come, if your all the guesses are wrong, the man will be hanged, and you can say he will die. So this is about the man who is being in the photo, and our task is just to save him. Now this was the thing that are in the Hangman game going to be happen. But how the process goes, the building part. So how does we are going to build this code? The first thing that we are going to is just develop an interactive window. This interactive window will be just communicating with the users that how they are, that everything is visible to it or not. Means not communication, but it will take care that whatever we have written in the code is actually visible to the user or not. So this is a user friendly window, but not that user friendly. It is for our purpose that our code is actually connected to the window or not, means everything is working fine or not. So this is about that interactive window. Okay, make that window. Now the second thing comes is word list. So we should have some different words to guess. For example, if a user just came again and he started playing after he lost the game, that should not be the same word that he got the last time. So there are a long list of words which we will be using and fetching. Every time a new word will be generated, we would be using that random function to complete it or achieve that. Now third is instruction. So we need to instruct the user who is playing the game that actually what's happening, what's the scene. For example, I have told you that what is the thing behind the game, how does game work. If he is all new, then we should instruct him that okay, if your word is correct, you got the right word. If your word is wrong, the image is getting hanged and the time will come if the man dies. So even if a person is playing just for the first time, he should be able to know that what actually happening. And always take care that when you are building a game using Python any library, these instructions are visible to it, because every compiler or every mechanism has different instructions or different words. So maybe the game you have played somewhere else may have different interface, different logics and instructions to work with, and here instructions are different. So we need to tell the user that how does the things work, and that is the important part. Now second thing, check user word. So if user has just written or given an input for a word, for a letter, we need to just check the letter, check the word, that if it is correct or not. So if we are able to check that okay, the word is correct, we need to do some process, go through that you have entered a right word, you have entered a correct word. And second thing, if the user has not entered the correct word, we need to go to the image part, just throw an image which will, in which the man will be more nearer to the hanging point. So that was about the check user word. Now second thing, reduce turns if wrong. If the word is wrong, we also take care that user has only 10 chances. It should not happen that the image is hanged but the user is just getting playing and playing the game. So we need to take care of that. And the last thing that comes is figure. We need to take care that when the user has entered a wrong word, means this is the most complex part, but the chances of getting a wrong word is more than the chances of getting a correct word. So this is a lengthier part other than just checking the right word. And if the word is wrong, chances will get decreased. User will just we will tell the user okay, you have entered the incorrect word, the word is not correct. We need to display the figure that this figure is not correct. All these things is just we need to take care that it happens very clearly, and user is able to understand okay what's happening in the game. Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we have designed that what is the idea behind the Hangman, how we are going to play the game, what many things will be needed here, what are the images, and what is the thing that we need to work with. We also discussed something that how we are going to build the code, like what many things we need to write and what we need to develop. So first thing is it starts with the developing an interactive window. This window is actually, you can call it a pre-game phase window. It means that game has not started, but we are interacting with the user, like building a user-friendly environment. For example, asking the name from the user will write the name, or the player will write the name. After that, we will just display a welcome gesture. We will give some initial commands that what user need to do, and then just go on. So here we go. First, we are going to take the input from the user. So our input will be name. Input. Here we ask the. Here we go. After that, we need to print a welcome gesture. After this, we need to just write the variable. Here we go. So this was the variable that we have defined earlier, in which user has actually entered his name. Now we are just going to print lines to separate the window, the main part or the interactive part. After this, we are going to just give some instruction to the user that what actually the user needs to do. So here we want the user to guess the word, and the number of attempts are 10 only. So before 10 guess the word. So here we go. The user will come to know that okay, the word needs to be guessed. Now we will just give a print empty line. Now we need to run it. Check that how is it working. So this was not related to the game, but it was before the gaming part, that we need to take the name from the user and enter it. Then user will enter the name, then we will display the text, and after that our game will begin. Okay, I hope you would be understanding that what we have written here was just a pre-writing part or pre-game part, is not the main logic, but something related to that. So here we get, like, if your name, so I think we got the display here. We will start building the game in the next video. That it will work when a user will just run the program, and he will be able to see that okay, there is a welcome, some instructions given. Now we need to move on to build the game. Actually building the game, from the beginning you could see that when the game is totally based on a specific thing, that is the word. If user guesses the word, he will get some result. If the guess is wrong, he will get some other result. But the whole program is just centralized on this word, that there should be a word to guess. So in this video we are just going to work with it. We are going to just build a word list, and this word list will work us go on. So let's start building it. Here I am going to define a variable, that is words. Now in words I will define some words here. You can just take any words of your choice. Like I would be taking solar, second word will be environment, the word will be ocean, next will be woman, now you can just take words according to your choice. Like it's up to you which word actually you are taking, how you are just citing the scenario. In take care that words are some bit different from each other. They are not the same that we were having. For example, the different words actually help us to decide the or make the game more interesting. Since a user don't know from which field a word is, so it will be a bit difficult to just choose the word or guess the word all of a sudden. And if the user is able to guess the word very easily, I don't think that he may play the game again. We have taken some word from some words are from the words are some words are word. So I'm not adding full list of words here. You can just take word of your choice, whatever word you like. But we have taken some random words so that we can work with the game to build the game. Now you can just make a huge dictionary of your words, and in those words, it will your hangman game will be more complex. Means the chances of getting a repeated word will be very less. But we are not just concerned about the words. I want every time these words to be a different word from the previous one. So it's very easy to do that. We need to just import a random library. I am going to just import random. Now this random library has a function with it that is random.choice. So this random.choice, what does it do? That when you just give a parameter as a list, it will give you or return you a single word, and those words can be any random word taken from it. So this is the work of this random.choice. Now if I print here, print words, save it, we will run it. I got mount. If I run it again, and the word is the pineapple. And let's check. This time the word is environment. So you can see every time the word is different. If we are getting a different word because this random dot choice picks up a single word all of a sudden without any logic randomly from this list and give this list to the user, that is this word. And after getting this word, if the word is correct, then our hangman game will actually utilize that word and check whether the user is able to guess this word or not. If the user is not able to guess the word, the man will start dying, that he will start reaching the hanging point, and after reaching there a time will come when he will die. But the random word is really important because that decides the scenario of the game.